Renaissance, bridging theory with everyday practice. Show call is a powerful tool in classrooms because it makes thinking visible. The idea is very simple. A teacher selects a piece of a pupil's work, places it under a visualiser or displays it on the board, and uses it as the centre of classroom discussion. But the power is not simply showing the work. The power is in how the teacher uses it. Show call is not about embarrassing students. It's not about catching someone out. It's not about putting work on the screen and saying this is good or this is wrong. Done properly, show call is a precise teaching tool. It allows the whole class to study real work, identify strengths, spot errors, improve quality, and understand the difference between an incomplete answer and a strong one. That matters because pupils do not learn only from teacher explanations. They also learn from comparison. They learn by seeing what another pupil has done well. They learn by noticing what is missing. They learn by improving a real answer in front of them. This is why success or show call is so useful. It takes success criteria and brings them to life. Instead of saying, make sure your answer explains cause and effect, the teacher can show an answer and ask, where is the cause? Where is the effect? Has the pupil linked them clearly? Is the keyword accurate? What would this answer, or what would make this answer stronger? Now the class are not just listening, they're evaluating, they're thinking, they're learning what quality looks like in practice. This connects strongly to the idea that feedback should be timely and usable. If feedback comes too late, pupils may not remember the thinking that processed or produced the error. But with show call, feedback happens while learning is still active. The class can see the issue. The teacher can correct it. Pupils can apply the improvement immediately to their own work. That is instructional precision. For example, imagine a science lesson where where pupils are explaining diffusion. One pupil writes, particles move from high to low. A teacher could mark that later and write, add more detail. But during show call, the teacher can display the answer and say, this is partially right. The pupil has identified the direction of movement, but what is missing? Then pupils might add from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Then the teacher can push further. Good. What keyword do we need? Concentration gradient. Then the teacher can ask, how do we turn this into a full mark answer? Now the class sees the journey from partial understanding to precise explanations. That is much more powerful than simply telling pupils to add more detail, because add more detail is vague. Show call makes the detail visible, but there are rules. First, the classroom culture has to be safe. Pupils need to understand that work is being studied, not the person is being judged. A useful phrase is, we are looking at the work, not attacking the writer. Second, show call should include both strong work and developing work. If you only show perfect work, pupils may admire it but not understand how to get there. If you only show weak work, pupils may feel exposed. The best show call uses a range. Sometimes you show excellence. Sometimes you show a common misconception. Sometimes you show a nearly there answer and improve it live. Third, the teacher must know exactly why the work is being shown. Show call cannot be random. It should be linked to the success criteria. It should be linked to the misconception you want to correct. And it should be linked to the improvement you want every pupil to make. Otherwise, it becomes performance rather than teaching. The real strength of show call is that it changes the energy of the room. Pupils start to realize that their work matters. Not because the teacher might punish them, but because their work is part of the learning process. The page becomes public evidence of thinking, and when thinking is visible, teaching becomes more responsive. The teacher can say, this is the strength, this is the gap, this is the improvement. Now everyone check your own work for the same thing. The final step is crucial. Show call should not end with the displayed work. It should return every pupil back to their own page. Because the purpose is not to analyze one answer. The purpose is to improve 30 answers. That is why show call is so effective. It turns feedback into shared experience. It turns success criteria into something concrete. It turns mistakes into learning. And it turns pupil work into the curriculum in action. So, the next time pupils are working independently, do not just circulate, look for an answer that reveals the learning. Look for the misconception that needs addressing. Look for the piece of work that can move the whole class forward. Then show it, study it, improve it, and send pupils back to their own work with sharper eyes. That is show call done properly. Not gimmick, not public correction, a disciplined method for making quality visible. Renaissance, bridging theory with everyday practice. Thank you.